What's up, YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm going to tell you the secrets of the most successful recruiters that I know. All right, guys. So I think at this point, you all know that I have a recruiter mentorship program, and you know that I teach students how to do recruiting, how to build recruiting agencies up to 6 and 7 figure levels. With that being said, of course, I interact very intimately with a lot of students, hundreds and hundreds of students over the past 2 years and beyond. Throughout that time, I've definitely realized that there are some very specific things that winners do and that losers do. Now, we don't need to beat around the bush about this or anything. Success leaves clues. We all realize that in all parts of life. But now we're talking about recruiting and staffing. So let's talk about the clues that successful recruiters leave. First, I want to set the context for what type and what level of success that we're talking about here. So to do that, I'm going to tell you about a couple of my students that have been majorly successful in recruiting because I can directly reverse engineer exactly what they've done. 1, because I taught them. 2, because I know exactly what they did because I did it with them, right? So I'm going to tell you about them, and then we're going to talk about their success secrets and how you can apply the same thing for yourself. First, I'm going to mention the greatest revenue generator of all time in my program over 2+ years, which is Cody. Cody generated over $500,000 this year so far. He will cross over 7 figures by the end of 2021. Next up would be Vince, who crossed over 6 figures in just 4.5 months, beating my own personal record of doing 6 figures when I just started in 6 months. Of course, I want to mention Dee, who I actually just interviewed. Check out the playlist on student success and you'll find her. Dee did $89,000 in fees just last month in August of 2021, whenever you're watching this video. Dee has also crossed over 6 figures well before her August $89,000 month, so Dee is a major success story. I also want to mention Tamara, who is billing $40,000 a month right now, and I'm going to set up an interview with her also in a couple of weeks, so you'll hear her story. So rather than continuing on and bragging about the students that have great success in my program, I'd like to tell you about the characteristics and the things that they've done, their secret sauce, right? Obviously, it's secret sauce that is taught in the program, and it's things that they've done themselves. But let's talk about that because that can be you too. There's no reason why you can't apply the same things these students have done. They have all had no background in recruiting. They're all fresh when they come into the program and reach these wild levels of success. Why can't you do the same thing? I want to tell you exactly what they do so that you can. So the first characteristics of every single one of these students is that they have a high level of commitment, meaning they're super committed to the outcome. They understand that they want success and they are literally tied to that commitment. As a direct result of their commitment that they've made to themselves, they are hugely motivated, meaning they're incredibly motivated to take action, right? So they will do pretty much whatever it takes. If it's after work, if they're working a 9 to 5, if they need to work through the weekends, if they need to do anything, they are motivated to get up and do it, even if it's something they don't want to do at the time. Spending a whole Saturday sending emails, no big deal for Cody. Responding to candidates on weeknights at midnight or 1 a.m., that's no big deal for Vince. Same goes for Dee and Tamara and everybody else that's hugely successful in the program. Their motivation is through the roof. They'll pretty much reschedule anything to take care of business to get to their goal. Characteristic number 3 would be mental preparation. I would be lying to your face if I didn't tell you that every single student that has major success in my program has not been mentally prepared and had the proper mindset to get to the success level they have. Now, with that being said, some students come in mentally prepared. Some students get mentally prepared and get into the right mindset once they're in the program. Once they realize the potential, once they see other people's success, their mindset changes once they start working with me. But at some point, mindset becomes a major factor, sometimes to the point of 90% of the reason for their success. When you truly think about it, all of these different characteristics and traits of success in these students come from mindset. You can't have commitment, motivation, or anything like that unless you have the proper mindset. So the fourth trait or characteristic of all of these successful students is that they ask questions when needed. Every single successful student in my program, not just the ones I've mentioned in this video, but all of the other ones, raise their hand when they have a question about something specific. Every single successful student in my program has always raised their hand when they've had a specific question, or they don't know how to do something, or they want to do something better. They've always talked to me about it. They've always sought counsel, basically. And that's a huge factor. Many people simply twiddle their thumbs, sit there and wait, hopefully thinking it'll just come to them or somehow it'll work itself out. No, it won't work itself out. You need to get guidance. You need to get help. And so the successful ones get that help. They get that assistance. And that's how they become successful. So the last characteristic of all successful recruiters is activity. Listen, you could be doing anything on earth, but if you're not taking action and executing, you're doing nothing and you will not be successful. That is one major factor that every single success story out of my program has. They took action. I really want to bring this point home to everyone that's watching this video. If you're not succeeding in recruitment, if you're not getting anywhere, it means you're not taking action in some area, in some way, shape, or form, or maybe you're tricking yourself, lying to yourself, thinking that, oh, I'm taking a lot of action when you're really not, and just pretending because your ego tells you, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, so that's good enough, right? If you're not getting results, it means you're not taking action. These recruiters take massive action nonstop all day long. They don't need anyone telling them what to do. If they hit a snag or have a problem, they raise their hand, ask the question, and get right back to it. Their level of activity is so on point, it surprises even me when I hear about how many emails someone sent out, or how many clients someone has thus far, or how many candidates they've placed thus far, how much revenue they've generated out of nowhere. I'm shocked sometimes when I find out how much action someone's actually taken to get to their goals. This is the common denominator. If you want success in recruiting, you have to be taking action. You have to be executing. You have to be applying what you learn. If you're not doing any of those things, you will not be successful. It's as simple as that. It just means you don't want it bad enough. This is not a new concept in life. If you want to be extremely successful at anything, you simply need to apply, execute, and take massive action. And you can essentially outwork anyone if you truly want it bad enough. The purpose of this video is to tell you what I know about the most successful recruiters and their secret sauce, what they're doing, what their habits are, how much activity they're doing, right? To tell you how you can match that and you can do the same. Now, I totally want to make an honorable mention to all of the massively successful students in my program. There's hundreds. I can't name everyone in this one video, but these are the people that everyone knows: Vince, Cody, Dee, Tamara. These people have been interviewed or will be interviewed very, very soon. And with that being said, they're all in the Facebook group as well. You can catch all those interviews there. If you're not in my Facebook group, Six Figure Recruiters, link in description, 8,000 plus recruiters in there. I put a lot of my content in there, really good content. You should definitely be in the Facebook group. So if you're going to take one thing from this video, take action. All right, guys, if you found any value here, I want you to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel, and that bell alert button so that you know every single time I come out with a brand new video. Until then.